Listen, lock in. This is not about romance. This is about composure. This is about power. This is about the difference between a man who stands on his feet and a man who gets pulled by strings he can't even see. When emotion replaces words, when feelings replace clarity, when reactions replace reason, the battlefield shifts from conversation to control. And the moment you react instead of remain unmoved, you've already given ground. Understand this from the jump. Emotion without words is not communication. It's pressure. It's atmosphere. It's fog. It's a tactic designed to bypass logic and go straight for your nervous system. Sighs instead of sentences. Silence instead of statements. Tears instead of truth. Tone instead of explanation. Looks instead of clarity. And if you let that move you, if you let that steer you, you're no longer choosing, you're responding. A man who responds emotionally is easy to lead. A man who remains unmoved must be respected. This isn't about being cold. This isn't about being heartless. This is about not letting someone else's internal weather dictate your direction. Storms pass. Grounded structures don't move. Here's the reality most men don't want to face. When emotion replaces words, accountability disappears. Because you can't hold a feeling responsible. You can't pin down a mood. You can't solve a vibe. And while you're trying to interpret, to soothe, to fix, to decode, the power quietly shifts away from you. That's the game. When words are used, things are concrete. They can be examined. They can be addressed. They can be resolved. When emotion is used instead, everything stays vague. You're left guessing. And a guessing man is not a leading man. A woman who uses emotion instead of words is not always malicious. Sometimes she's avoiding discomfort. Sometimes she's testing boundaries. Sometimes she's learned that emotion gets results faster than honesty. Intent doesn't change impact. Effect is what matters. And the effect is this. Your attention narrows. Your focus shifts from your mission to her mood. Your energy leaves your center and moves toward her emotional state. That is the transfer of power. The man who doesn't see this will start adjusting himself to stabilize someone else. He'll soften his tone. He'll shrink his truth. He'll compromise his standards. He'll say less. He'll do more. He'll try to earn calm instead of commanding respect. That's how men lose frame. Frame is your internal posture. It's how you stand in yourself. It's your sense of direction regardless of external noise. Emotion is often used to bend that frame, to see if you'll wobble, to see if you'll chase, to see if you'll fold. Remaining unmoved doesn't mean ignoring. It means not reacting impulsively. It means staying rooted while the other person expresses turbulence. It means letting emotion exist without letting it drive. A man who remains unmoved does not rush to fill silence. He does not scramble to fix feelings he did not create. He does not apologize for things that haven't been stated. He does not negotiate with moods that he waits for words, because words reveal intent. Emotion hides it. When you stay unmoved, something powerful happens. The emotional display either escalates or dissolves. If it escalates, you've confirmed manipulation. If it dissolves, you've restored balance. Either way, clarity emerges. And clarity is leverage. Most men panic when faced with emotion. They feel responsible. They feel accused without accusation. They feel pressure without direction. And that panic makes them talk too much, explain too much, give too much. That's the trap. The more you move to stabilize her emotions, the more she learns that emotion moves you. And once she learns that, it becomes the default language. Why use words when feelings work faster? This is not partnership. This is conditioning that a grounded man breaks the cycle by refusing to respond to emotion alone. He acknowledges it without surrendering to it. He remains calm, present, neutral. He doesn't escalate. He doesn't withdraw dramatically. He simply holds his position. Calm is dominance without aggression. Think about it. Who has more power in a room? The one raising their voice, or the one who doesn't need to? The one reacting, or the one observing? The one swayed, or the one steady? Emotional storms are tests, not of your love, but of your stability. When she uses emotion instead of words, she's watching. Watching to see if you'll chase. Watching to see if you'll crack. watching to see if you'll prioritize her feelings over your values. Remaining unmoved sends a clear message without saying a word. You can express yourself, but you cannot control me through it. That's respect. Here's what remaining unmoved actually looks like. It looks like listening without fixing. It looks like silence without guilt. It looks like asking for clarity instead of assuming blame. It looks like not taking responsibility for unspoken expectations. It looks like strength. Weak men feel the need to resolve everything immediately. Strong men understand that not everything needs an instant response. Some things need space. Some things need time. Some things need words before they get energy. If she wants resolution, she'll use language. If she wants control, she'll use emotion. Your job is not to punish emotion. Your job is to not be led by it. That a man who remains unmoved becomes a mirror. The other person sees their own behavior reflected back without distortion. And mirrors make people uncomfortable when they're not being honest. That discomfort is necessary. Understand this deeply. The moment you allow emotion to override reason, you teach others how to treat you. You teach them what works. You teach them where your cracks are. A man with no cracks doesn't need armor. When emotion fails to move you, the dynamic changes. Respect replaces testing. Directness replaces drama. Or the connection ends. Either outcome is a win. Because peace built on clarity is always superior to chaos built on chemistry. The do not confuse intensity with intimacy. Intensity is loud. Intimacy is clear. And here's the truth that hits hardest. Men who stay unmoved don't lose women. They lose manipulation. They lose confusion. They lose time wasted on emotional puzzles that lead nowhere. If someone can't communicate without emotional leverage, they're not ready for a man who leads himself. Remaining unmoved protects your future. It protects your focus. It protects your mission. Because a man distracted by emotional turbulence cannot build anything lasting. You don't need to harden your heart. You need to harden your center. Be present. Be calm. Be unavailable to manipulation. Let emotion pass like weather. Stay grounded like stone. That's how you keep control without raising your voice. That's how you command respect without demanding it. That's how you stay sovereign in a world that constantly tests men through pressure instead of honesty. And before you go, hear this clearly. This channel is for men who refuse to be emotionally steered, confused, or controlled. If this message sharpened your awareness, act like a man who recognizes value. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next lesson. This isn't entertainment. This is discipline. Stay calm. Stay grounded. And never forget, if she uses emotion instead of words, remain unmoved.